Everybody, welcome back to the Calibrate Tools and DIY channel. Going live Tuesday, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until that changes, um, it is what it is. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. And we're going to dive right into it. What do you think of the title? What do you think I'm going to talk about tonight? It says DIY is therapy. Well, it is for a lot of people, and there's a good reason why it is, right? I'm gonna dive right into the topic. I'm gonna let some people stream in, and while I talk, I know a lot of people say, "Hey, they catch me late and everything because it's a delay." But hey, I don't have any music playing or anything like that. Uh, some people have music playing before they start talking. I kind of dive right into it, but maybe I'll start that up. But anyway, guys, DIY is therapy, right? What do I mean by that? Well, there's a lot of reasons why doing it yourself, right, could be a good thing, a very good thing, besides just saving money, because we know that's a big reason why people do it anyway. But people do it for a lot of other reasons and unexpected reasons as well. They don't even know that that it's therapy for them. For example, or should I say, just think about it for a minute. When you have nothing to do, right? When you have nothing to do, and you're just sitting around, where does your mind go usually? Where does it go? Can somebody tell me in the chat? Usually your mind drifts to the things that are really not productive, right? If your mind is not trained, right? They say an idle mind is the quote unquote devil's workshop. And that's not a religious thing. It's just saying that when the mind is not occupied with something constructive to do, it by default it's going to gravitate towards you know things of a lesser value. I don't know why that is. Maybe that's the law of entropy in the universe. Um, Very good life note says therapy may go unnoticed. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Sometimes you do things and you don't even know it's therapeutical for you, and like reading or whatever you're into, right? So yeah, when the mind is not occupied, and I'm not trying to go off on a tangent here. Just follow me for a second. When the mind is not occupied with something constructive to do, by default, so don't blame yourself. This is just how it is. This is nature. By default, it's going to gravitate to things that are not it's not as constructive. Meaning, you might today you may jump on your phone and you find yourself scrolling through social media, and most of the time, what are you looking at? You're looking at who did what to who, and all the negative stuff. And we're trained by the media to look at negative things. You turn on the news, it's negative. It's all negative, nothing positive, right? um you get a phone call from a friend, bad news happened, somebody died, oh, so and so doing did this to so, we're just surrounded by negativity, right? Negativity most of the time, and that's not all our fault. We're just born into this world. That's just how society is. A lot of that has to do with just human nature and all of that. And so if you don't actively find something constructive to do with yourself, or actively um, put something into your mind that will you know uh, occupy it for a second, it's just you're gonna find yourself doing all those things I just listed, right? So I say DIY is therapy. Do it yourself is therapy. Number one, because my channel is about do it yourself. It's about home improvements. It's about working on cars. It's about all kinds of stuff having to do with tools and do it yourself activities. Right. And it's a proven fact that when you occupy your mind with positive endeavors, right, or activities, it is therapeutic for you. It is good for you, in other words, right? So go ahead and tell me in the chat, what DIY activities have you guys participated in lately, in the last year, or maybe last 6 months, that you participated in. A lot of us are going to say no. There's not. I just go to work. I do my job. I come home. Unless your work itself is therapeutic, right? Maybe your job is something you like to do, and that could be therapeutic as well. But a lot of times when we're not at work and we're not doing those 8-hour shifts, or we're not trying to run a business. Even if you're running a business, you still need time to get away and take a break from a lot of things, and do it yourself. Tools, stuff like that. What I do, for me, is therapeutical. To be honest with you, that's why I like. That's why I like what I do. I get on here and I teach you guys about what I know about tools. I'm learning as well, and it's therapeutical for me to share information and communicate with you guys. And hopefully you learn something, get something from this. And if you are learning something, please hit that like and subscribe button right now. Hit that like and subscribe button right now. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to bite you. That's what it's there for, if you like this kind of content. So, yeah, there are many benefits to, adding DIY activities to your lifestyle, right? And it's not just about you, by the way. DIY is a great way to bond with your own family. In today's world, everybody has a cell phone. Everybody's, in their own household, in their own bed, husband and wife, each laying in the bed at night when they're supposed to be, talking or communicating with each other, or whatever else goes on in the bed. You know what I'm saying? They're both looking at their cell phone, and it's ridiculous. I mean, you go outside, you go to a restaurant, and you see a couple sitting there, and they're both looking at their phones. It's like, man, this is crazy. Technology is good. I talked about it the other day, I think on the last live or something, but I think it separated a lot of people, in terms of communications. I mean, it just separated a lot of families. I don't know, that's just the dark side of tech, right? This thing right here is supposed to allow us to communicate with somebody halfway across the world. So it definitely increased 1,000 million fold, whatever, the communication capacity of human beings today. At the same time, I think it also decreased the amount of communication people that individuals are having, even in their own household. Isn't that a paradox? It allows us to talk to people halfway across the world, yet at the same time, people in our own household, we don't even talk to because we're on our phones all the time. So that's interesting how that went. So DIY, allows it allows you to put your phones down and bond with your family over one common project that you can work on, talk about, learn, problem solve. Builds your creativity skills, and you're saving money at the same time. That's why I'm a DIY promoter, man. That's why guys got to go to Calibrate.com. Yes, I will plug it. I will plug. Get some tools so you can start some DIY projects. Okay. So type agree if you agree with me, what I'm talking about. Am I just ranting? When was the last time you guys went to a restaurant and you saw two people sitting at a table that look like it's supposed to be out on a date or something? I don't know. Older, younger, it doesn't matter. And they're both into their cell phones. What's even worse is if one person's looking at the cell phone, the other person doesn't have a phone. I mean, that's the highest insult, I think, especially if it's like a date. It's like, man, that's a red flag right there. Yeah. So DIY, guess what? Engaging in DIY projects can also reduce stress levels. How many of you guys know somebody with high blood pressure or some kind of hypertension condition or something like that? Well, DIY is a good way to reduce that. Like I said, the bonding, if it's multiple people working on a project, that bonding of with another human being, okay, in concert with or having a common goal to work on, to complete, that human bonding actually reduces stress levels, even on a chemical level. I don't know the chemical names for like the high blood pressure, low blood pressure, all that stuff, but it's a proven fact that this happens, okay? Because you're feeling like you're accomplishing something, right? Especially if you accomplish it with somebody that you care about. It could even be strangers, right? Somebody you don't know, but you're like I said, I'm stressing the bonding part because family is the breakdown of the family is a big thing, especially in the Western world, right? Maybe not so much in the East, as they say, in other cultures, but in this Western world with everything coming at you, I mean, it's almost like strangers, even though they're blood relatives, living under a house, a roof, and not even communicating with each other. And we see that play out in all the crap that goes on in the news. I mean, school shootings, mass shootings, whatever, just broken families, things like that. So every time I see an individual or individuals that have organizations that are centered around young adults or children, learning a trade, they don't know it's not just about learning a trade. It's about, making the community more healthy, you know, psychologically as well, mentally as well. Mental health is a big thing out there, and so, you may know people who have serious mental health problems, or maybe have taken their lives because of it. And it may not seem related, but DIY projects, whether that's learning a trade or working on something, painting together as a family or something like that, this is all very important. This is all connected, even if we don't see the connections here, right? So yes, it does reduce stress and anxiety. Okay, it does reduce stress and anxiety. Okay, teaches you a new skill. That's another benefit, right? It forces you. I mean, if you want to build that cabinet, if you want to DIY a kitchen setup, or put new flooring in, or I don't know, put a new roof on, whatever it is, it's going to force you to learn a new skill. But because of your desire to do it, it's not really. You want to do it. That's the thing, right? You want to do it, so you get out there and you learn, and that's you're adding a new skill to your hat there, right? Sharpens your mind, and there's all kind of benefits to come out of that. But I'm not stressing the economic benefit that much, because yes, you are saving money. In some cases, you're saving money. If you're a newbie and you're trying stuff, you may actually end up spending money because of the mistakes you're going to make. But that's all part of the learning curve, right? But at the end of the day, the sense of accomplishment, right? No matter how small the tasks may seem, the sense of accomplishment is worth more than gold, right? Because now you say to yourself, man, I did that. What else can I do? And it just keeps building and building and building. And the more you have confidence in yourself, the more you care about yourself, the better you are as a person, and you can even teach others, right? So let's see. Very good. Life notes. Bonding with kids through projects is awesome, and it teaches skills. Absolutely, it does teach skills, and that's what our kids need right now. I think I was on Instagram, and I try to keep up with all the organizations or individuals in their respective communities that are doing things like that. I just saw one the other day where this organization teaches kids, middle school kids, the trades, right? And they had them using I just did a video on it. A blowtorch. They had these kids using blowtorches, cutting PVC, and joining them together, and all, learning these trade skills, right? And in these communities, and it's great because you hardly see that, or at least it's not, it's not publicized as much as it should be, right? Everything else is publicized. JoJo got shot down the street or something like that. That's all over the place. But you don't hear about these organizations doing some great things out there that can inspire others to do it. So that tells you, that, what's the agenda here, right? Because negative stuff, it sells, right? It's just that's what it is. T Turner, how you doing, T Turner? First time on the live. Appreciate you dropping in. You said me. What when you say me, T Turner? What do you mean? Are you a DIYer? Very good. Light note says my dad showed me so many tips that I have used in my adult world. Yeah, that's the importance of having a father that cares, that gives gives a dang about their kids, and actually wants to teach them something, right? Um, and the important, that's what I'm talking about. So I stress the bonding thing, right? It's nothing more important than a parent bonding with the child, teaching them something, giving them a skill, um, and or even learning a skill together. You know, it's not just, you don't have to know everything as a parent. Maybe you want to learn it with them. That's something they'll take with them for the rest of their lives, right? Perigo Lightno says she never forgot this stuff, these skills that she was taught by her father, that took the time. And the father daughter relationship is very important. I mean, father son relationships is very important as well. But I think with each gender, it's a different dynamic there, and it's very important that that father shows that young lady that he cares about her and all that stuff, and he's teaching her stuff, and he's not really trying to be her friend. He's trying to be her parent. You know, T. Turner says, "Iron sharpens iron." Absolutely, absolutely, and that's a very uh, famous phrase there. Yeah, we got to be the iron out there, because we got a country, right? I could say a world as well, but we got a country, we got a city, we got nation, we got states, whatever, full of young people that are misdirected, right, by all the assault of things coming at them, and this is one of the biggest assaults right here, right? This, and a lot of times it can be, it can, I heard this conversation on online the other day, was about music, kind of music people listen to, how it can affect them, and it was talking about hip hop music, and what I liked about the conversation is because it was young people talking about it, right? The effect of certain kinds of hip hop music, and I just talk about hip hop. I know there's other music and other genres, other styles that are negative, just as negative, just as worse, and not all hip hop is negative, but there are some, if you examine some of the content of some of this, it's not productive. I remember when it was mostly men um, in the hip hop world talking, about a lot of stuff that's not as constructive. Now you got men and women, so there, young people are assaulted, right, bombarded by all this content that's not really helping them out. That's not really helping out, and I guess in some ways, I created this channel to be the iron. T. Turner, by the way, this channel hopefully is like an iron that sharpens iron as well. And they got a few guys out there from my community online doing stuff. I see them on different platforms in the trades, teaching and showing their skills, and I applaud those guys. I'll probably give them a shout out some other time because I can't remember the names exactly. But I love to see people do that, right? I mentioned one guy on the live. His name is King Randall. He's doing some good work out there too, but he's not the only one. There are guys out there that actually have their boots. They're not just on a screen like myself. They have their boots on the ground. They're in the trenches. They got schools. They got programs, and they're really doing it. Very good. Lines. What are examples of some DIY projects that you would suggest? Oh, it could be as simple as building you can have building a box, a wooden box, right? Um, and because even something as simple as that will require you to find out, okay, what kind of wood am I going to use, right? By asking that one question, you get to learn about the different types of wood out there, right? What kind of tools do I need? By asking that one question, you say, okay, it makes you research the different kinds of tools out there. Do I want to use a hammer and a nail, or do I want to use a nail gun, right? Um, do I do the paint? If you want to paint it, do I want to use varnish? Do I want to use stain? Do I want to stain it? What color paint do I want to use? That one paint question will ask you, okay, how do I mix? Then you're gonna have to learn how to mix the paint correctly, right? Do I want to use a paint sprayer? Do I want to use a brush? That question right there is going to make you say, well, what kind of brushes are out there? Okay, for what I want to do. So it doesn't have to be something complicated, right? It could just be a painting project, painting a wall, right? Then you get, like I said, you get to learn about the different paint sprayers out there, or the different paint rollers out there, the different paint brushes out there. You get to learn about all the different tools, and you get to learn about what they do, and you know, the accessories that come with them. Um, so yeah, it doesn't have to be something complicated. It can be you fixing a chair leg, right, or something like that's broken, or find something around the house that needs repairing. You know, there may be a I don't know. You know, it's not just about building something. It can be something. It can be something you've never done before. Have you ever mowed the lawn? Have you ever handled a lawnmower? Do you know how to change the lawnmower blade? Do you know how to sharpen the lawnmower? You know, things like that. Um, yeah, so it's so many opportunities around to learn something and do something, right? And get skills up. I find that people that actually dive into it, they like it, and then they just keep learning and learn until they become almost as good as the pros. Next thing you know, they got a YouTube channel or Instagram page or whatever. I see a lot of women on Instagram that are DIY pros, you know, and I'm like, man, you know, that's a great thing, because it's not gender specific. Skills are skills. Give or take, you know, there may be some things that a woman may have difficulty doing that a man wouldn't, like lifting heavy things. But um, at the end of the day, I mean, it doesn't matter. Um, I've seen a lot. I follow a lot of them, by the way. I follow a lot of them. A Holloway, how you doing? Good to see you there, A Holloway. You are right. For me, it started with learning to mow my yard. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, just the lawnmower itself, that technology right there, you know, even up till today, from the carburetor style lawnmowers, now graduate to electric lawnmowers. You know, it's just and then riding lawn. You know, it's just, you'll find in every area of home improvement, even the gardening, there's technology that's evolved from one state to the next. So just looking at the advancement of technology in those areas, from where it was to where it is now, just researching that and learning about that alone is interesting, right? It's very interesting, right? So it just makes you a better DIYer, I should say, right? My point in saying all this, guys, is that you shouldn't wait for people to do things for you if you can help it. Part of the enjoyment of doing something yourself is the fact that you're not waiting. It's the fact that you're taking it upon yourself to learn something. You're stepping into new territory, right? You're putting aside the fears and insecurities about doing something. You're putting aside, oh, I got to call so and so to do this. Oh, I got to call the neighbor. Oh, I can't do it, because, you know, you're putting all that aside, and you're stepping into a new version of yourself, which is very important. We all have to step into new versions of ourselves. That's the only way to enjoy life, right? You gotta see yourself in another perspective, bigger than what you already see yourself as, capable of doing a lot more than you think you're able to do. Perry Girl says gardening has definitely been helpful in de-stressing at times. Yeah, I think that's because, you know, when you're down there on the dirt close to the earth, there's something therapeutical just about that alone. You know, getting your hands dirty. You know, you're right in the trenches with Mother Nature. You know, that's everything's alive, even the plants, right? Everything's alive, even plants. Thank you, Perry Good Light Notes, for that super sticker. I appreciate you. You know, even the plants are alive, even the, you know, and you know, just because they don't look like you doesn't mean they ain't alive. And just because you don't think that they don't communicate and they don't give off energy. Anything that's alive gives off energy, right? So I think when people like to garden, not just to be in the dirt, it's something that they don't even know that's good for them, that's happening on a deeper level with nature. See what I'm saying? Because we all live in this concrete jungle. If you live in a big city like me, unless you go to a park, or you're one of those people that goes hiking every now and then, or you go out to the woods. I'm a nature person myself. It's been a minute since I've been up in nature, but it's something different. I mean, it does something to you. It really does. I remember as a kid, I used to go. There was this park close to where we lived, but right next to the park was, I mean, right next to it. Matter of fact, part of the park was some hiking trails into where it's woodsy, right? Just so you can get lost in that little patch of the city, right? Where it was just all trees and stuff. And it's just be you by yourself. And I go in there all the time by myself. That's where I hung out at. And I'll come out of there refreshed, like I'm a new person. It's like nature just does something to you. It just sucks all the whatever out of you and then refreshes you at the same time. So yeah, I think gardening and having a green thumb um, is definitely all kinds of things happen there on different levels. You know, and DIY, you get to look at, it's therapy in the sense that you also get to look at your achievements. What you accomplished something, you did it yourself, right? Because at the end of the day, if you look at this creation that we live in, we are also creators. We're also creators at the end of the day. The root self of who we are creators. So if we're not creating, how can you really be happy? Because if you're not creating, you're stagnant. You're not doing anything. You're just, you kind of just punching the clock and going through the motions. You're not producing something new. You're not creating new life. You're not creating new energy. You're not creating. So anything stagnant is going to die, right? That's just how it is. Think about a pool of water just sitting around, and that water doesn't move. It doesn't flow. It's going to get stagnant, right? And what happens when it gets stagnant? Mosquitoes form in there. All kinds of debris and mold and stuff sit because it's the water just sitting there for a long time. And it even can smell bad. It can even start to stink as well, right? And that's just how our lives are. If we're not moving and we're not doing something, if we're not evolving in different areas of our lives, then it's gonna stink. It's gonna stay stagnant, and that can also affect others. So if you jump into a stagnant pool of water that's been there and has all kinds of crap in it, you may not get out of there. You may get sick, right? So if we're not doing something with our lives, and I know I'm sticking to the topic now. Sometimes I go off, but I tie it back in. If we're not if people come into our lives, right, and we're stagnant, we're not evolving to the next level or next version of ourselves, or at least we're not trying, right? They're gonna if they're about their business, they're gonna sense that, and they're gonna move on, because they're just gonna sense that. And then we know when we're stagnant as well. Sometimes we don't, right? Some of us don't. We stay stuck. But you don't want to stay stuck. You want to keep moving. That's just how life. That's the ebb and flow of life. That's necessary. Flowing water is always fresher than stagnant water. Water has to flow, So yeah, so DIY is a good way to keep that water flowing in your life, right? So go out there and get some DIY tools. I got a great tool kit at Calibrate.com. If you want to support the channel, check out the channel. Check out the site there, Calibrate.com. And we got some great starter tools for you. Okay. Pick up that hammer, get that measuring tape, learn how to read. You guys know how to read a measuring tape? That's actually enjoyable to learn how to read a measuring tape, to be honest. Yeah, we got that. So, we got a few items there for you guys to check out. And so achieving something, right? Achieving something for yourself is one of the basic things that that DIY provides for you. A sense of achievement, a sense of accomplishment is really important to life. It's really important to live, because when you don't have that person in your life giving you those high fives and those kudos, yeah, man, I'm glad you did that, right? You got that thing you're looking at. That's going to give you the sense of accomplishment right there. You don't always need someone else to give it to you. You can give it to just accomplishments themselves. And like I said, you will make mistakes. So yeah, the DIY industry, by the way, is an $800 billion industry. Oh, it's estimated to be based on statistics I looked up. Right. So yeah, there's I mean, all kinds of it's growing. It's growing. Why is it growing? Because people are realizing, hey, look, I can do things myself. I can get online and show people how to do things myself, or show them how to do it and get paid. You know, so yeah, it's a lot of different opportunities in that. But I just on this one, like I said, aside from the financial aspect, I really wanted to stress the positive impact it has on your mental health, and the fact that it gives you focus, it gives you it gives you something to look forward to the next day, and that we all need that. We all need something to look forward to, and it allows you to put the cell phone down. You know what I mean? Put that cell phone down and bond with your loved ones or strangers, or whatever, friends. It doesn't matter. That's what only at the end of the day that's relationships matter, right? That's all it's about anyway, right? At the end of the day. So yeah. So if you're thinking about that DIY project, go ahead and don't wait. Don't wait any longer. Just start it, you know, do some research on it. I'm not saying jump right into it, but get your toes wet. Get your toes wet. And it's not as hard as you think it is. You just gotta you gotta have a vision of what you want to accomplish, whatever it is. And then ask yourself, okay, what tools do I need? What skills do I need? I mean, YouTube is there, right? You can figure it out. And then go for it. You might find that you enjoy the hell out of it, and that you want to do more and more and more, right? It's like it can become almost like an addiction. But that's a good addiction, as long as it's not taken away from it's not becoming something that's causing harm to your communicating with your family and stuff like that, or your loved ones, right? Um, so let's see here. Mike Reed, how you doing, man? Good to see you dropped in. The measuring tape is the foundation. The entire project works off your measurements. Mike is absolutely correct, because you get an eighth of an inch off, everything's going to be off. After that, start with a shoe rack and go from there. Yeah, that's a good project to do. A shoe rack. Okay, I like that. Yeah, something simple around the house. A coat rack, or I don't know. I mean, once you get your feet wet, you probably be in Home Depot or whatever your hardware store is all the time, because you'd be so fascinated. What can I do next? Oh, what does that tool do, right? And then that's when you come to my channel to find out what the tool does. I'll teach you all about it. I'll teach you all about the tools and stuff. I got you, man. I got you covered on that one. Okay. And if I don't know about the tool, trust me, just let me know. Let me know. Go to my Instagram or leave in the comments, and I'll go learn. I'll go learn how to do it myself, and I'll come back on here so everybody could learn. Yeah. That's a good one there, Mike. Yeah. So, yeah, guys, you won't be disappointed. Just do it, right? Just do it. Like the slogan says, just do it. And anytime you just do something in life, I'm not saying silly things, right, or stuff that's going to harm you, but if there's something that you want to do, don't hesitate any longer. Life, you don't know when it's time, so just do it now. Okay, just do it now. NOW. Take that step, see where it leads you, and you may, I don't know, your whole life can change. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Yeah, so my next, I do things on the channel that's, sometimes I do some, I wouldn't say elaborate, but I talk about tools that most of us probably won't ever use, but sometimes it's simple things that I'll teach you. Like on the next video, look for this on Thursday. I'm showing you where to put the car jack, right? When you're changing a tire. I remember back in days, it's like, okay, this is something you shouldn't guess about. So, but and you kind of find a place and you say, okay, that works, hoping the car won't fall down on you. Well, in the next video, I'm going to talk about exactly where to put it, where you put your car jack, because most people, I think they wonder about that, right? But there are certain jack points on the car that is usually in your owner's manual. They tell you, at least a good owner's manual should tell you. So I go over that. I know, Mike. Now all the cars are plastic. You're right. Yeah. I mean, it's like taking a risk. You're pretty much jumping in a D trap, if you know what I mean, these days with these cars. But yeah, so I do simple things because I think, my channel is about the average person who's not trying to be a tradesman either. They just want to know how to do certain things that maybe their daddy didn't teach them or they never learned. Right. And I also, I dive into, this channel is really for those people. It's for everybody, the pros as well. But I want, the majority of people aren't pros. They're not skilled tradesmen. They just want to know how to do this and want to know how to do that around the house. They want to know how to use this particular tool and stuff. So, I try to cater to a pro, what a pro may call, simple jobs. But everybody's not a pro, right? So, but I love talking about other kinds of tool technology as well, right? I mean, more advanced technology that a tradesman would use, a pro would use, sometimes even industrial stuff. Yeah. So I try to cover all levels, but it's particularly for the average Joe, Anyway, guys, I hope you got something out of this live. I appreciate all you guys coming on, supporting. It's been, I don't know, 3 years or so since I've been doing this, and haven't regretted one day of it. Why? Because I get to communicate with you guys. People like, Paragraph Life Notes, T. Turner, Mike Reed, anybody who's watching in the replay, thanks for coming and supporting and hearing me blab, some, talk, rant or rave or whatever. Hopefully you're getting some from it. Yeah, so check me out on the next live. Check out the video Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's my content days. So check me out on there. A. Holloway, I didn't forget you with that cowboy hat. I didn't forget you. A. Holloway. I know you give me the side eye because I didn't say your name, but I didn't forget you, A. Holloway. I see you there. Thanks for coming, A. Holloway. Thanks for supporting. Daryl the Finisher. Hey, Daryl. Daryl's the man, man. Hey, guys. One thing I'm about supporting my fellow brothers and sisters, who are out there on these YouTube streets or online in some form or fashion, teaching us what they know. Daryl the Finisher is go subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's growing, and I know why he's growing, because he's good. He got a good style. He's got a good presentation, and he knows a lot, especially about the handyman world. He knows a lot about business, and you wouldn't regret watching this stuff. So check him out. And let's support each other in this whole thing, right? We ain't got to be selfish out here. It's enough. We can all eat out here, man. It's enough for everybody to eat. So anyway, guys, thanks for coming on. You guys know I don't stay on there that long, right? So come on back next time. Check out the content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys. Much love. Peace.